this song for the Christian youth. I want to teach kids the Christian truth. If you want to reach those kids on the street, then you gotta do a rap to a hip-hop beat. So I gave my son an urban kick. My rhymes are fly, my beats are sick. My crew is big and it keeps getting bigger. That's because Jesus Christ is my...
Nope, don't go there.
But what do you get? What? What's wrong? I don't understand.
I don't think that's appropriate in this day and age.
I'm just spreading the word of God's love.
Nope. I know where that next line was going. Don't go there, bro.
He's a life changer, miracle arranger. Born to the virgin mom in the manger. For those of you who are less on the internet, I know like people on my Discord are going to know what that is right away, but just look up Rapping for Jesus. It's a good video.
Yeah, the video quality is pretty epic too.
I mean, like it's so funny because it's like a genuine video just made by an old Christian priest, but like the meme potential of it is like God tier. Like it seems like something that it seems like something that was made ironically, but it was not. It's completely a real thing.
Yeah, and if you didn't catch it when I interrupted Mack there in the original video, there's an N-bomb that gets dropped.
Oh, there are several.
Okay, I remember the one time specifically, but yeah.
No, that's the main word. That's the song.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, welcome to episode 12.
Anything cool we could what happened when you were 12 years old? What were you up to?
Oh, geez. I mean, probably running back through the woods, going to look at the nudies back at the nudist resort.
You would be at that prime age to start being interested in that.
Right. And
not realizing that it wasn't as fun as you expected.
I didn't really want to force bring that up, but that I did want to mention it at some point today. I was visiting my dad for Easter, mm-hmm. and he brought up the story that we told on here a few episodes ago about when my friends and I went back to go spy on the nudies, and
bro, that was like episode 2. That wasn't a few episodes
well,
ago.
Whatever. But I think it's funny that my dad brought up that story, and when Mike got caught by the naked guy and driven back to our house.
Yeah. Has he not listened to the podcast yet? You not sent your dad the podcast?
I know I sent him like our first video that we made, and gotcha. told him to keep an eye on it, but I don't think he's listened to anything else. At least if he has, he hasn't said anything to me.
See, when we initially started the podcast, I was kind of like of the mind of like, I don't know if I want my parents to hear the podcast because I'm definitely going to be telling stories that are a little less savory.
Right.
But around the time that our first episode was coming out, my mom was complaining that I always responded like one-word texts.
Okay.
Which is accurate, but it's not like I'm trying to like end the conversation. I just kind of find it hard to conversate sometimes.
Yeah.
And so, and she was saying like, oh, she misses hearing from me and just talking to me. I'm like, well, maybe you'd like the podcast. You wouldn't be talking directly to me, but you get to hear my voice and my thoughts and whatever.
Sure.
So I kind of just took the risk of like, well, if she's going to willingly listen to the podcast, then, you know, she's going to have to subject herself to the awful, terrible, gross things that I say. But
right.
So far, she has not been a continuous listener. So I'm safe.
Okay. Well, I mean, for the record, to go along with the gross things, this week I decided to drain my balls in your bathtub.
All right. Well, I just cleaned that. So thanks for that.
Yep. I left the shower curtain closed or open too, so it would get nice and mildewy.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Got anything going on for yourself this week?
No, kind of. I had a little bit of a video game nostalgia of my own today.
Nice.
I bought a game that I played a lot when I was a kid, and it came in the mail right before you came over. So I was playing it right before you got here. It's called Kirby Squeak Squad.
Okay.
It's by far my favorite Kirby game. It came out in 2006, and it's a great fucking game. I'm having a fun time playing it again.
My real question is, in the game, does Kirby have human feet or does he have his normal Kirby feet?
He wears shoes, so as far as I'm concerned, underneath, like those are some human feet.
Okay. I mean, just the way his shoes are shaped, I would imagine he doesn't have, and the way his hands are.
Well, the hands are whatever. He can have his normal Kirby hands with human feet. That's almost more terrifying.
It's not. You're not wrong. It is more terrifying, but it just doesn't make sense for that to be the case.
I think he does, because, he manages to keep himself upright. And as we know, like the human feet are very complicated because they have to be able to keep us upright.
Right.
So I have to assume that underneath there, he's got like all the bones and muscles needed to like maneuver himself so he stays balanced all the time.
I just assume that Kirby has no muscles whatsoever, or no bones whatsoever.
I mean, Kirby's fucked, man. Like, how does that thing work?
I don't know.
He's like a demon when you really think about it. Like every other video game character is like, oh, Sonic needs to rescue the animals and defeat Eggman. Mario's got to save the princess. Kirby's like, someone stole his cake and he's ready to defeat the universe.
Nice.
When you really think about it, like Kirby's kind of the bad guy. Like stealing cake's a dick move, but I don't know, man.
Not trying to paint you as a bad guy, but you seem like someone who would be real pissed off if they stole your cake.
Yes, but I'm not a good person, self-admittedly. Kirby's like the hero of his story.
Okay.
I would absolutely kill a bitch if they stole my cake.
You remember that time you kept talking about how badly you wanted cheesecake? And then you spent your lunch driving to Meijer to go buy a cheesecake?
I had a craving.
I'm not hating.
I do, while we're on the subject, Mike, I want you to look behind me and tell me what you see.
I see some Entenmann's coffee cakes, some Oreo, some Gold Bears.
Well, behind that,
Are those Reese's eggs?
yeah, but that entire bowl is full.
Oh, nice.
So
You went candy shopping.
I did. So as it was just Easter the other day, and since Easter is the last major holiday of the season, I went shopping for on sale candy like normal, and Meijer had a really good deal. It was 50% off the day after Easter.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's usually like 30% off the day after the holidays. So
Yeah.
I loaded the fuck up, and I got like a little paranoid that I wasn't gonna have enough to last me until like Halloween. So I got so much my candy drawer or my candy cabinet is overflowed again. So now I have like a popcorn bowl sitting on my counter just filled to the brim with candy. It is literally like it is overflowing, and then I have that 2-pound bag of gummy bears in front of it too.
Yeah, there's at least 2 bags of candy that aren't fitting into that bowl.
No, they're just kind of sitting on top.
I love it. That's great.
But yeah, back on the subject of Kirby briefly.
Yeah.
Did you ever play any of the Kirby games?
I actually did not.
No.
I wish I did.
Kirby's great. I've always been a fan of Kirby, and I really like Squeak Squad because they have this really cool mechanic where you can like combine his power-ups.
Okay.
So like if you get Sword Kirby and like Flame Kirby, you can combine that to get like Fire Sword Kirby.
Yeah.
Which is really fun. The only problem I have, and this is with every Kirby game, is that like those games are mind-numbingly easy. Like there's and this is, you got to remember, like Kirby came out around the time what we were talking about the previous episode, like NES, SNES era, where like games were just tough as shit. So
yeah.
like I'm glad that Kirby existed in terms of like giving younger people something to play that is not crushingly difficult. But like at the same time, like Kirby has so much potential to be like this really cool concept. Like, you can absorb the power of your enemies, and like there's so many different kinds of power-ups. You've got Sword Kirby and Cutter and Flame and whatever else. There's so many different options at this point. Like every game they add more.
Yeah.
But God, the game is so fucking easy. Like every enemy dies in 1 or 2 hits.
Oh.
All of the bosses like can get stun locked really easy. Like I fought the first boss while you were still on your way here, and like I was using Flame Kirby, and you get the flame breath, and I just started breathing on him, and he got stun locked the entire time, and I just melted through his health bar before he could even attack me.
Oh.
It's like I wish there was a slightly more challenging Kirby game, because like half those games it's like you play the first level and it's like, okay, it's not gonna get harder from here.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I am a bit of a masochist with video games. I tend to enjoy harder ones more. So whatever.
Did you ever play that random Titanic game that I gave you and told you that you should stream?
No, I still have it in my drawer.
You should bust that out one of these days.
I know I should. I keep like I forgot it existed for a while, but now I'm just like not sure when to play it.
Yeah, you should bust it out. Well, and then we can talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's one game that I played a decent amount of.
Yeah.
Very epic.
Very pog. Speaking of video games, a new Monster Hunter game came out actually right after we recorded the last podcast, and I've just been playing the shit out of. Sorry, a little bit before we recorded the last episode of the podcast, but I just been playing the shit out of that. Monster Hunter is good stuff.
Speaking of recording the last podcast, it's only been what? Like 5 days?
Yeah, and it's super warm outside.
Yeah, it's the
I also thought about saying
opposite.
this.
Yeah, so it was, I don't know, like 32 degrees and snowing 5 days ago, and I think it's like
70 outside.
Yeah, it's like 70 plus and sunny right now.
Yeah, I turned on my AC when I got home.
Yeah. Wow. Drastic difference.
Yeah, big daddy difference.
Big old difference.
All right. Yeah. It was nice. I driving home, I had my windows down, and the sun, the wind blowing through my magnificent mane, as they say. It was great.
Nice. I got something I need to bring up. This is
I don't care. We're skipping it. Next topic.
Rude.
No, fuck you.
All right. Anyway, so this has been an ongoing debate in a Snapchat group that I have.
Okay.
And it stems from an argument between Bradley and his boyfriend Anthony.
Okay.
Anthony locked the bathroom door, and then it got closed, I believe, while the shower was still running.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. And it was just the two of them. And so Bradley got pissed that he locked the bathroom in the first place. How do you feel about locking bathroom doors?
I say 100% do it all the time, no matter what. Wow. I lock my bathroom door right here, where the only other person in the entire like apartment is Luna. I still lock my door when I go piss or I take a shower.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's just ingrained into me because I have brothers. Like, I've walked in on my brothers jacking off. They walked in on me in the shower. We've all walked in on each other taking shits. Like, I can't not lock a bathroom door. It's I feel like it's better to be in the habit of it than to be sitting there. Like, there are some situations where I don't, and then you forget to when you're at work or something.
I'll give you that, especially growing up with all the brothers that you had.
Yeah, no.
I can see you being in that habit. I definitely do not lock it at home.
I mean, I don't blame you, but like, sorry, Bradley, I gotta side with it's Anthony, right?
Yeah,
I gotta side with Anthony here. He had every right to lock that bathroom. Just because you guys have seen each other naked doesn't mean he wants to see you naked. It doesn't mean he wants you to see him naked all the time.
Right. Oh, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, if there's like one or two people over at my apartment, I'm not locking it because there's so few people in so little space that if you're gone, they know you're taking a bathroom break.
Not me, dude. I lock it all the time.
I mean, if they want to walk in and get a show, they're welcome to it.
But think of the inverse of it. Like, for me, I don't want to walk in on my significant other taking a shit or something. Like, well, there was an entire How I Met Your Mother episode about how unpleasant that can be.
Right. Well, when Marshall and Lily got stuck in the bathroom, right?
Mm-hmm. And Lily had never peed in front of Marshall.
Right. Oh, the best line of that is at the end after it's all said and done, and Marshall goes, "Well, we still got the deuce." Such a great way to spin that.
Yeah, totally. Oh. But yeah, not for me. Like, you gotta lock it, dog. It's not cool.
Oh no! See, I'm the opposite camp.
I've had too many bad situations. It's too ingrained in my memory.
All right, man. Unfortunately, Anthony's gonna love this, and it's gonna all go to his head. But
Anthony, I stand with you, brother. Speaking of brothers, if my little brother ever hears this, he's gonna hate that I talked about this. But
yes,
I want to say we were both in high school. One time I walked in on him jacking off, and like, he got mad. He got mad at me for not knocking the door. And I was like, it's a bathroom, lock the door. And he still tried to push it that it was my fault for not knocking. And it's like, dude, it's a bathroom.
Okay. Now that brings up another point. was your house a bathroom door open if it's not in use or closed all the time?
Open when it's not in use.
Oh, then why?
So I'm totally right in that situation.
No, wait. So the bathroom door was closed, even though it's open if no one's in there.
Right, but well, I mean, it would get closed randomly sometimes.
So I think he's in the right.
He's not
in that. If the bathroom door is closed, I knock. If it's a bathroom open situation,
if someone's in there, it's going to be locked. That's how I think. That's what I think. If sometimes it did get shut.
If there's no one in there, the door shouldn't be closed.
Sometimes it would happen anyway.
If it's closed, I knock.
No,
especially if you can see the light on under the door.
Not if there's carpet in front of the door.
All right. Still, I think if the door's closed, you knock.
Nope, not happening.
Why wouldn't you knock?
It takes too long. I'd rather just go in.
It takes too long?
Yes. Okay. So here's a situation I have at work, and this used to happen at World Market as well. We have these doorknobs for our bathrooms that are like they have like the vacant and occupied symbols.
Yeah.
And these motherfuckers still knock on the door before they go in, and like they'll knock on the door and they'll like push on the door, and it's like, bitch, it says occupied. I'm taking a shit. Leave me alone.
Yeah, that I'll give you. There's no reason to knock because you can see that it's occupied.
But like the same thing would happen at World Market. Like people would like knock on the door, like jiggle the fucking doorknob as if it was magically unlocked. It's like clearly someone's in here,
right?
And like people would be like, "Is anyone in there?" And I wouldn't respond because it's like you're not fucking getting in anyway.
Right.
The door is locked.
Yeah. Yeah, the only time I guess I could see that is if you're at like a shady gas station and you need to get like a key.
Well, but there's usually like signs to let you know about that.
Yeah.
And people did sometimes think that about our bathrooms.
Yeah.
Like, no, fuck you. You're a dumbass.
No, it's locked because there's someone in there.
Yeah.
But I walked in on several people at work.
I got walked in on once, but that shit happens.
Yeah.
And I blamed myself because I forgot to lock the door.
Yeah, see, I never actually got walked in on myself because I locked the bathroom door at work, but I walked in on several customers. I remember one time Ken walked in on Darius. He was not pleased.
I wouldn't be.
No, especially something that works there. Like,
it's like, oh, I see this person on a regular basis.
Yeah, it makes it real awkward. Like, remember that time I saw you dropping a deuce?
Have you ever seen like a grown ass man at like a public bathroom, like with his pants down at the urinal?
No, I mean, I've seen little kids do that a lot.
It's so fucking awkward. You're sitting there like, am I breaking the law right now? Or
right. Okay. So to go along with that, one time my cousin told me this story. He was, I don't know, someplace where it was, like a single occupant bathroom. But the men's room, it had like a regular sit down toilet and also a urinal. Mm-hmm. And he went in and he didn't knock. The door was unlocked, so he walked in and there's a guy just sitting there dropping a deuce. And he's like, oh, sorry, and like turns around and the guy's like, it's all right, come on in. And I thought that was the most ridiculous thing in the world until I had the exact same thing happen to me like 2 years later. Exact same situation. Open a door, there's a dude just dropping a deuce. And because it's a single bathroom, there was no like stall around it.
Come on in, the water's warm.
Pretty much. That's so weird.
The air is stinky, brother. Come on in.
God, like, I have to wonder if that was the same dude. I can't imagine there's that many guys in the world that are just like completely cool with just dropping a deuce in front of someone while they're at the urinal.
God, you know what I can't stand is like shared locker rooms.
Okay.
Always hated shared locker rooms. Can't do it.
Yeah.
Even in middle school and high school when you'd have the shared locker room for gym class.
Yeah.
I would change before gym class. I was not like, there's too much room for bullying in that kind of situation. I'm not fucking running the risk, dude.
Yeah. And if you ever go,
I would never shower either in the open showers where like everybody's just dicks out.
Yeah.
I was like, this is too risky in high school. I'm already like an outcast. I'm not going to fucking risk this shit.
Yeah. I mean, nobody in my high school gym class used the showers.
A lot of guys in my school did.
Huh.
Like way more than you might expect. Like it was mostly, and I'm willing to bet they all had the same thought as me. It was mostly like the outcasts, and I think they were all like, I'm already in the minority. I'm not risking anything else.
Right.
It was mostly like the jock dudes who were like, yeah, dicks out, dudes. Well, I can jerk off my dude. It's fine. We're all we're in the shower. It's not gay.
Yeah, it's not gay if it's in the shower.
It's not. Totally true, by the way.
Right. Yeah. Anything goes in the shower.
You ever take a shower with your bro in your own single bathroom?
Nope. Can't say that I have.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither.
This brings me to a question that we got on our last podcast episode.
Have we had sex? Yes.
The answer to that is yes, but yes, we have had sex. No, that was not the question. No, so the question came from Mike. So I don't know if you saw it.
I did see it. I had a feeling you'd bring this up. I didn't want it to be brought up.
Well, I think everyone who has seen you is curious to know, does the carpet match the drapes?
Well, when I had a carpet, certainly.
Oh,
because all guys got curly pubes, right?
Sure,
like that's just a thing. I mean, I think all pubes are curly. That's how pubes are.
Yeah. It's just how they are.
It was a different color though.
Oh, interesting.
Much darker. I don't think anybody needs to know this.
No, nobody needs to know it, but everybody wants to know it.
I don't think everybody wants to.
No,
I'm willing to bet there's a good section of the viewership who's like, I didn't need to hear this right now.
It's probably really just Mike who wanted to know.
Well, Mike, I hope you're happy.
Yeah. Now, did you style it the same way?
You dick.
Mac, I'm sorry. I didn't intend to say that when you were taking a drink. I just killed Mac.
I was fucking deep throating some water. You did that shit to me. God damn it. I just spit water all over my fucking outlets.
Oh god. Sorry, bro. That was purely accidental.
That was really painful.
I pulled like the waiter waitress move where
they wait until you're in the middle of a drink.
In the middle of a drink, or you just took a bite of something to come around and ask you if you need anything.
Oh, I'm sorry, everybody. You have to hear me coughing and gagging, but no,
you didn't
know
style it
that.
the same way. Okay, well, glad we got that out. Glad you're still alive.
Oh, barely. Fuck. Speaking of dying, I found a really interesting album recently, just the other day, actually. And I listened to it over the course of the past 3 days. It's called Everywhere at the End of Time.
Okay.
It is 6.5 hours long.
That's a long ass album.
It is a very long album. It's super interesting. It's by this guy called The Caretaker. And it's 6.5 hours long. It's split up into 6 like sub albums.
Okay.
And each of which is meant to represent a different step in the advancement of dementia.
Really? That's interesting.
It's really interesting. So like, and there's like a description in like the description of the video that is on YouTube kind of explaining each part comparatively to like the rest of the experience. But it's super interesting. Like it starts out with like, God, I'm still like burping and coughing from that shit. It starts off with like the very like classic like 30s kind of oldies music, and it kind of sounds faded, like it's coming through a record player, which is supposed to represent like kind of the natural fading of memories, like you're at the beginning of kind of this cycle.
Okay.
And as it progresses, like things start to get a little more distorted towards like stages 2 and 3, like there's kind of swaths of distorted noises, or like the song will restart on itself or suddenly play back out of nowhere.
Oh, weird.
It's supposed to be represent, like if you think of the music, if you think of each song as like a memory playing in your own head, then it's like those memories getting jumbled up or tangled together or like lost.
Yeah.
And then like throughout like stages 4 and 5, it gets even more distorted to the point where like you're hearing more distortion than actual music.
Okay.
Where there'll be like stage 5 especially, it's like going through it's like you're listening to a horror movie soundtrack. Like there's like what's the word I'm looking for? Like long spans of time where it's just like kind of it sounds like feedback coming from like a loudspeaker.
Okay.
And then like the music will pop through every now and then, and it'll come back in. And then like there'll be one part where it kind of gets really blissful and peaceful. And like that's kind of supposed to be representative of like your mind kind of coming back from the brink for a bit, only to be thrust back into it.
Okay.
And then the sixth part is just
silence.
Well, close. It's just like long, like droning sounds. Like you'll maybe hear the music start to fade in a little bit in the background, but it's like mostly just like this droning sound. And it was very interesting to listen to, but it definitely like it put me into like a little bit, it made me feel a little bit of a sense of like existential dread.
That's a really cool concept though. I like that.
It's really interesting. I don't know how like well researched it is or how accurate it is or whatever, because obviously I'm not exactly an expert on dementia, but it's other than our old coworker Tim, obviously.
right. Obviously Tim has dementia,
but it was a really interesting experience, because like the more I thought about like the effects of dementia, the more like dementia's fucked up. Like the more I thought about it.
Yeah.
It gave me some really interesting perspective, but it definitely like I came home yesterday after having listened to it for like 4 hours straight at work, and I was like supposed to stream, and I was like, nope, I'm too fucked up.
Oh damn!
I was sitting there like this messed me up too much, because I got to thinking about like some kind of depressing shit. Like I started to think about like, okay, so I'm 23 now. I started thinking about a time where I'm like 40 or 50, and like say my mom got dementia, and like one day I'd have to like look her in the eye and she would have no idea who I am.
Yeah.
And that would be like heartbreaking to me, but to her as well, if she were to consider that possibility. And it was like, damn, this is scary.
Damn, that's some deep shit right there.
Yeah. But I wanted to talk about that briefly. People should go check it out. Again, it's called Everywhere at the End of Time. It's long. Obviously it's a really long album, but it's worth listening to, just kind of give you some perspective.
Wow. Huh. That's really cool. When you first said it was 6 hours, I like internally like rolled my eyes. Like albums don't need to be that long, but I mean, once you explained it, that's actually really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's you kind of have to think of it as like experiencing the same album at different points in the process.
Yeah,
because like the music you're hearing in like the first part of the album is the same music you're going to hear in part 5, but it'll be so distorted it'll be almost unrecognizable.
Yeah. That kind of reminds me a little bit of, have you ever seen a movie called Vantage Point?
No.
It's a pretty decent movie. It's about an assassination attempt of the president, but you see the same scene happen over and over again from
different
like,
points of view.
Yeah, like 5 or 6 different points of view. I can't remember every point of view, but I think, like it's 1 or 2 people like in the crowd, and then possibly like from the president himself, and then like a Secret Service worker. It's really cool.
Gotcha.
Pretty decent movie, but I would say an even better concept than it is.
That's usually how it goes, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Usually those kinds of movies are like, this is an interesting concept, but it doesn't really work as a movie on its own. Did you ever see Hardcore Henry?
No, what's that?
It's a movie fully shot from first person perspective.
Oh, it's like a POV porn?
Yeah. I guess.
Well,
yeah.
You said it's called Hardcore Henry, and it's shot from a first person perspective.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it was an interesting movie. There's a few really interesting scenes, but ultimately the overall experience isn't that great. Like the concept is more memorable than the plot,
Yeah. Yeah, I gotcha. What's Luna been up to? Has she been doing anything goofy?
Not really. I mean, she's just shedding a lot. Like, I'm sure you can see all the fur on my floor.
Yeah.
I vacuumed 2 days ago. That's how much has built up since then.
Oh gosh.
But that's how spring be.
Yeah, Lily hasn't started shedding yet, but she will at some point. But hers are just little white hairs. It's not really that short little whiteies.
Luna's got that long fur. So
yeah.
I came up with a question for us.
Okay.
I was thinking about this at work. imagine because we were talking about I wanted to bring it up in this episode because we were talking about Donkey Kong Country last time.
Yeah.
If you were a video game boss,
Okay.
what would be your like King K. Rool style dick move that would just fuck over the player?
Oh man. I don't know. I mean, probably something that like immobilizes the character.
Okay.
That's probably like that's a thing, right?
Oh yeah. That's a big old thing.
Was there like one of the Mario bosses where like if they jump, like the ground shakes and then you can't move for a few seconds?
Yeah, I think that was Super Mario 3 did that a lot.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, immobilizing
It's really annoying.
Your challenger is that's
really
a pretty
frustrating.
dick move.
It's really frustrating in a game when you're like, God damn it, if I could just move.
Yeah. What about you?
Well, I actually, because I came up with this question, I had time to think about it.
Sure.
And I came up with something that I think is pretty good. So this would happen at around 10% of my health bar. Okay.
Okay.
So the player is about to defeat me. At that moment, I would drop trowel and I would start projectile diarrheaing all over the entire arena. Just like diarrhea everywhere.
Just everywhere.
Everywhere. And when it hits the player, and I say not if, I say when, not if, because it'll cover the entire arena. When the player touches it, it poisons them. And like it's a bad poison, okay?
Uh-huh.
So we're talking from full health, it'll kill him in like 30 seconds.
Okay.
And so like I diarrhea all over the place. And as I diarrhea, because of the amount of volume and mass that is leaving my body, I shrink. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And then and this is my favorite part.
Okay.
Because I'm now so small and light, I would be able to ice skate on top of my diarrhea.
God.
So as the player is like ticking down health really quickly, I would start ice skating all over the arena, avoiding them. And they would have to chase me down to take out that last 10% before the poison killed them.
They'd have to run through.
They'd have to run through my feces. And this is probably my favorite part. I would want my name to be like, you know how bosses always have names?
Yeah.
Like crazy, like cool names. Like I would want my name to be like Captain Mack, Expeller of Excrement. And like none of my attacks are shit based until that point. So the whole time the player's just thinking, why is he called Expeller of Excrement? What the fuck's up with that? And then I drop trout, start shitting everywhere, and it's like, what?
I think a better name would be Crapton Mac.
I don't like that at all.
I mean, for the character, not for you.
No, I get it. I just don't like it.
Okay.
Makes me feel bad about myself.
Hopefully that name doesn't stick for you.
Oh, we'll see.
Like Swarley.
So yeah, that's it's a bit elaborate, but I think that's really good. I think that would be really frustrating for the player because they would just constantly die trying to catch up with my ice skating ass.
And incredibly frustrating. When you said drop trow, I thought you were going to talk about the alpha move that you pull. That you
just coming on them, just coming everywhere
on an attacker.
No, we're gonna hit him with some diarrhea this time.
Okay, like maybe you just went and got some of that Costco frozen yogurt.
Totally. Anytime I eat Costco frozen yogurt, there's like a 1 in 4 chance I'll have diarrhea, but I roll those dice.
Oh, that would be a better move for the boss. Like,
oh, what if like throughout the battle I like occasionally eat some frozen yogurt?
Well, I was thinking like that the diarrhea move only happens once every 4 times you reach the boss.
No, because that would then they defeat me. Like if they defeat me first try, then they don't even get to experience that.
Well, all right.
But maybe an alternate like King K dick move would just be to like throughout the battle, like every now and then I eat some frozen yogurt and like 1 in 4 times I have some poison diarrhea and like it doesn't coat the entire arena, but like it might hit them. But the player has no idea. There's no indicator for whether or not I will have diarrhea or the ice cream or the frozen yogurt will just like give me some health back.
This is such a gross topic.
It's funny though.
It is.
Haha, poo poo funny.
Again, poop and farts always funny.
Let me know in the comments if you thought that was funny or if you think that this podcast is going downhill every episode.
I haven't had any feedback on the episode yet, but yesterday I let Elizabeth know that we told the story of how we met her on the last episode, and she was like, "Oh, sweet, I'm gonna have to listen to it." And she said she was gonna listen today, but she pointed out something that I'd never heard of. She must have listened to like the first couple seconds. She thought our intro music sounded like the intro music to that Between Two Ferns with Zach Galifianakis.
I've never heard that.
And I listened to it, and while it doesn't sound the same, I can definitely see some similarities.
Gotcha. I haven't listened to it, so I wouldn't even have a frame of reference.
So that's kind of cool.
The only thing I know from Between Two Ferns is there just I just know he interviewed Justin Bieber once and was just a complete dick to him the entire time. That's all I know.
Nice.
I think I've seen clips from that interview, but I never actually watched the show.
Yeah, I've only seen maybe one or two. Does your Discord have anything for us today?
Yeah.
What they got?
Microwave has an interesting one. What flowers do you like the most?
I guess roses. Roses are a good flower.
Roses are kind of nice. I don't really like pay attention to plant life because I'm a fucking vampire recluse and I stay in my house all the time with the blinds drawn. But I mean, in Animal Crossing, I'm a big fan of the flowers. Animal Crossing's got this great mechanic where like every island every island starts with like 2 different kinds of flowers, but there's like, I don't know, 6 or 8 different kinds.
Yeah.
So you have to like travel to other islands to collect them all.
Okay.
So it's really fun to collect the flowers in that game, and the roses are a lot of fun. So to connect what you said.
So this isn't a flower, but speaking of like needing to water things, I've got this plant, and this whole story starts probably a year and a half ago. So every year around Christmas time, Meyer sells these. It's called a Norfolk pine, and it kind of looks like a little mini pine tree, and they usually come decorated with like some Christmas decorations or whatnot. And last year, I guess it would have been Christmas 2019, I bought one. And, I'm not much of a plant guy. I'm not good at caring for them.
Right.
And so by like February, the thing died. But I had I had set up my apartment based on this thing taking up this space.
Well, you probably should have fucking kept it alive then.
I probably should have, but because, it's like a pine, it didn't lose its leaves when it died. It just got really dry, but it still stayed green.
Right.
So I just left it there.
Jesus.
Until it rolled around like this last November when they started selling them again, and I bought another one and just replaced it.
God damn it.
And that one, thankfully, still going okay.
All right.
Still alive.
Still going strong.
We made it to April this year, so
nice. You did it.
Double thumbs up to me.
I don't know if I've never had a plant in my adult life.
Huh.
I don't even think about getting them. It'd probably add some life to my place, but it would also be really hard to take care of a plant here because like my kitchen and my sunroom and my bedroom all have outside windows, but my living room, like my main living space and like my quote unquote dining room, which is where I keep my desk. Yeah. Like there's no windows there except for like coming from the kitchen and the sunroom. So it'd be really hard to keep a plant alive in there. Yeah, that's true. Although your sunroom would be kind of cool if you just like decorated the whole thing in plants. Yeah. Made it like a little jungle in there. Yeah, that could be interesting. That'd be kind of cool. I mean, you already have like, you got like those outdoor lights that you haven't set up, and I mean, I can't. There's no outlets out there. Oh, you didn't? Those aren't solar lights? No, they're not solar lights. Damn. All right. Well, so much for that. The only thing I've used that room for, I mean, I do sit outside and read during the summer, but like I mostly just used it to paint Gundam models. So. And isn't that also where you trap Luna before you cut her nails? Oh yeah, because she can't get out. Yeah. Huh. She's too stupid. Stupid little cat. Little dumb cat. Little dummy. Little dumb pussy. All right. Okay. If you could get one wish granted, what would it be? From Scorpion. One wish granted.
Oh, read people's minds.
Really? You want that?
Yeah.
I think that would make my anxiety even worse than it actually is.
Well,
Because then I know exactly what people think of me no matter how they treat me.
I mean, potentially, but you could use it to your advantage in so many ways. I mean, you could totally manipulate anyone you wanted.
That's what you would use your one wish for, the ability to manipulate others.
Only if you needed to. Like if they had a negative opinion of you, you could manipulate it so that you behave in a way that is then appropriate to them.
See, that's exactly what would stress me out about it. I don't want to know why people hate me. I just assume they do. I don't want to know the reasons. I don't need that kind of stress in my life.
Well, if they hate me, then I would want to manipulate them because they're probably horrible people who wouldn't like me.
Okay, so you've got your invisibility and your ability to read people's minds. So now you can just find the people that don't like you and fuck with them good.
Yep, pretty much.
Jesus.
What's your one wish?
My one wish would be able to that was a bad sentence.
Yep.
I would want to be able to pay my bills off of what I create, or just make a living making stuff.
Okay.
That's like I've talked about it on stream before. Like if you told me that like I would be able to make a living doing my videos and live streaming, but my audience size would never grow, I would absolutely do it. Like I'm not in it for fame or money or whatever. I think it'd be. There's nothing to me that would be more gratifying than being able to just create for a living. So
that's cool. All right, I'll give you that.
That's all I would want. Don't want to live any extravagant life. Don't really need fancy cars and big houses. I just want to be able to pay my bills.
Yeah, I mean, I guess to go along with that, I mean, just not necessarily being incredibly wealthy, but just having enough to afford anything you need or want at all times without having to work would be awesome.
Yeah. Living comfortably is such like a far off dream for people of our generations.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, you know, the saying is like money doesn't buy happiness, which is 100% true. Just because you have money doesn't instantly make you happy, but it is much more difficult to be happy without it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that goes along with what I was just saying. Like,
yeah,
you know, in a sense, money does not buy happiness. But if you told me I had like enough money to live forever in comfortability and I could just make my videos and live stream, then that would make me very happy.
Yeah.
You know, the money itself isn't making me happy, but but the lifestyle that the money would allow me to afford would make me extremely happy.
Correct.
So in that sense, money would buy my happiness.
Yeah. Yeah. Take that, people. Money does buy happiness. Kind of.
In a way.
Yeah. I have a question. This is coming from Crystal, so
one of those questions.
Yeah, one of those questions.
This is an obligation question.
But I am a little curious to know your answer. How she wants to know, how do you like your steak cooked?
I like a medium rare.
Nice. I'm with you. I am personally I like a rare steak, but medium rare is perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, so I prefer rare, but the definition of rare is so different depending on the person that like when I order steak, I always go medium rare just to be safe.
Okay,
because you can have it too rare.
I'll give you that. I mean, for me, you could just walk a cow through one of those hot yoga studios and it'd probably be good enough. I do like a very rare steak, but anything up to medium rare is totally acceptable.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have pink in your steak, you're wrong. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, it needs to be like pretty dark pink. If it's like medium pink, kind of like, or like light pink,
that's
gray,
no good.
Ugh, no, just throw it away at that point. It's just like eating a shoe.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, good.
God, I haven't had steak in forever.
She didn't actually tell me how she likes hers cooked, so I'll have to ask. She's probably like a well done girl.
Probably. I haven't had a steak in forever, dude. I miss steak.
Oh man,
I remember that time we went to K Barbecue. That was awesome.
hell yeah. And we just like mukbang the shit out of all that meat.
Oh, that was the best. I remember when we looked at the plate and I was like, there's no way we're going to finish all this. And we destroyed it.
We fucking destroyed that shit. That is so good.
Yeah. I haven't had fancier foods. I haven't had anything fancier since then. Like that's the fanciest food I've eaten since then.
I mean, that's definitely the fanciest restaurant food I've had since then. Cause I've probably only been out to eat 3 or 4 times since then, because that's
true. That was like right before the pandemic started, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry, that felt further back than it was, but now I think about it, that was right after I stopped working at World Market. So
yeah, well, that also goes to show you how long we've been in the stupid pandemic. That
time is elongated.
Yeah.
The flow of time is convoluted.
I have steak a decent amount. I enjoy making it at home.
I've never made it for myself. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I'm a lazy shitbag. That's why.
Should give it a try sometime.
I should do it as a captain's kitchen, which I haven't done in months.
Yeah.
Every time I talk to my mom, she brings up the fact that I haven't done captain's kitchen in forever.
Oh, well,
which is very sweet because she loves captain's kitchen. But
well, have you supplemented it with our Breakroom Nachos videos where we try some hot dogs? And
I don't know if she subscribed to the channel or not. I did not send those to her.
Oh, well, she might enjoy those. I mean, it's not quite Captain's Kitchen, but it's a little something.
Yeah.
She gets to see her little Mackie and some food.
She gets to see her little son deep throat a hot dog.
Yep. Just shove a wiener in his mouth and some plant-based chicken nuggies.
Yeah. Yeah. I missed Captain's Kitchen. I just haven't done it in a while.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this has probably kept you a little busier than normal.
It's not really that. Like, so when I started doing like, my video essay videos, they're longer, they're more highly edited, they take time to prepare for.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like put everything else off to the side and didn't work on any of it.
Yeah.
And when I kind of figured out what I wanted for my channel, I made a second channel where I'm going to be uploading like all that stuff now. And my main Captain Mack channel is only for those kinds of videos now. And so like what I said when I made that channel was, if I'm not working on one of those video essays, I will be making those other things, Captain's Kitchen, cardboard opening videos, whatever else, and they'll go on the second channel.
Yeah.
But now I'm stuck in this weird cycle where like right now I have an idea for a video essay and I've just been like for weeks trying to figure out how to write it. Like I just don't know how to write it. I know what I want from it, but I don't know how to write it.
Yeah.
And so like this entire time, anytime I'm not live streaming, I feel obligated to work on this video. But I just don't know what to do with it. So theoretically speaking, I could have made a Captain's Kitchen or a card opening video in this time, and I just haven't.
Yeah.
So I probably should just get on it and make something, because if I make that thing, it'll distract me from my main project long enough that I can probably formulate some new ideas. But
all right.
It's just it's been weird finding a new balance with how to handle my videos now that I'm not releasing them on a schedule and they take longer to make.
Yeah.
Like there's months in between new uploads on my main channel at this point. Like it's been weird to get used to in general because, ever since I started my channel in 2017, I've been on some kind of schedule. Like first it was daily uploads, then it was weekly uploads. So now I'm in this situation where like, if I'm not working on a video and I'm just wasting time, I feel like complete shit. But then I'm also sitting there like, I can't force this. If I do, the video turns out bad. I have already experienced that.
Yeah.
And it's a constant wrestling match with like the boss in my head, so to speak, with like the editor version of myself talking to each other like, you need to do some work. There's no work to do. and like trying to come to terms with the fact that like it's okay to just not work on something if I don't have an idea for it.
Yeah.
It's been weird to get used to.
When you explain that, I pictured like the classic like movie TV good and evil scenario where you've got like a little devil version of yourself and an angel version of yourself sitting on each shoulder.
It's kind of what it is. Like there's the side of me that beats myself up constantly and is like always like hounding myself to get shit done. And then there's the other side of me who is like, it's okay. The ideas will come. And when they do, they're much better than when you force them.
Yeah.
And then it goes back to the devil and he's like, yeah, but you're not doing anything.
Yeah. I'm just trying to picture how a little angel Mack would look. I don't think the halo would sit up on top of your head.
Just imagine it like kind of circling my hair. So like some of my hair pops out of it while some of it sticks out to the side.
I like it.
That'd be how it'd probably be. And then the devil version of myself, like you'd see the devils you'd see the devil horns on the side of my head that doesn't have the hair sticking out. The other one would just be completely obscured.
Yeah, you just have one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there is a second one. You just can't.
Yeah, you just can't. Maybe just the tip.
Yeah, sure. We're 12 years old. That wasn't particularly funny, but it still got a giggle out of both of us. God. I'm amazed at this that according to Anger, our main demographic is 35 to 44 year olds. It should be 13-year-olds.
So it's funny that you mentioned that. Yeah, so our demographic is older and
like primarily it's like 90%.
Yeah, and then I'm not gonna look it up right this second because it keeps drastically changing. But I think since we've been on Apple, we've definitely been having a lot more listeners.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we've had an increasingly higher female demographic.
I did catch that.
To the point where if you look, I think it's over like the last like 7 or 14 days or something like that. Like 75% of our listeners have been female.
I am so sorry. This podcast is so gross. I mean, I guess maybe you like that.
Apparently
I can't
they
assume,
like it.
But I gotta say, I'm very happy to see some female viewers on this podcast because for the first couple months, it was like 99% male. And I was sitting there like, is this podcast that unlikable to women? Like, I know we made jokes about being misogynist, but we're obviously not.
Right.
Like, I'm so happy to have you guys listening.
Absolutely.
Personally.
It's great. No, I actually think that's better because, like I assumed we would have like a fairly male heavy audience, but hey, the girls be liking it.
Yeah. I do want to request, by the way, while we are talking about viewers, we need more questions, guys. My podcast is starting to my Discord is starting to run dry on questions.
Yeah, and Crystal's not a reliable source for quality questions.
What are your thoughts on sloth? I'm sorry, Crystal. You're very nice listener to the podcast, but that was a dumb question.
I do have a Crystal story to tell.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember this. You might not have been around at the time, but one time there was a customer shopping in the wine department who he dropped a bottle of wine and broke it and was wearing sandals and managed to cut his foot.
Okay.
And so I think I was cleaning up the mess that he had made, but he like made Crystal put a Band-Aid on his foot.
What?
Yeah. She was like, let me go get you a Band-Aid. And he was like, oh, I don't know if I can bend over and hold my foot up at the same time.
Oh, well.
And made her like put the Band-Aid on. There's no way I could have done it. You know my feelings.
That sounds like even like beyond your squeamishness about it, like I think that's like a health safety issue. Like I don't think you can do that.
Yeah, I mean, I know we had like the rubber gloves and stuff, but
I wouldn't have done it. I would have been like, nope, you're a grown-ass adult. Band-Aid yourself.
Nope. You can go ahead and sue World Market for all I care. Like, it's not worth me having to touch your foot.
Not at all. All right. I do have one last thing I wanted to talk about briefly.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of a man named John C. Lilly?
I mean, I've heard of John C. Reilly.
No, John C. Lilly.
I don't think so. I would say it sounds familiar, but probably just because it sounds similar to John C. Reilly.
I learned about this recently through a video, a channel called Atrocity Guide. Go check that channel out if you guys are into like deep dive stuff. She makes really good videos. But I learned about this guy. He's a goofy motherfucker. Let me tell you.
Okay.
This guy, John C. Lilly, he was like a researcher in the 70s and 80s.
Mm-hmm.
He's very famous for this thing called the Dolphin House, where he like converted his house to allow like dolphins to live inside of it.
Okay.
And then he conducted experiments where he tried to get like dolphins to learn the English language.
Okay.
And tried to communicate with them, which is fine. But like the documents on it are really interesting. Like the lady who's conducting the bulk of the experiments, like he was not involved in the experiment. He actually like agreed with her that he would not involve himself.
Okay.
He would stay outside of it. But it's really interesting because the dolphin they chose was like a younger dolphin who was going through puberty at the time.
Okay.
And as you may or may not know, dolphins are kind of horny motherfuckers.
They are.
And in order to get him to like focus up instead of being a horny motherfucker, she'd like jerk off his dolphin dick.
Oh. Oh no.
which is so bad in and of itself.
Yeah.
But that's not the end of Mr. John C. Lilly's goofiness.
Oh, okay.
So
keep going.
This motherfucker, this is the most absurd shit I've ever heard of. He created something called, I think it was called an immersion tank.
Okay.
So what he would do, he would put on this like a modified scuba diving helmet. It would block out all sound. It would block out all vision.
Mm-hmm.
Like imagine Ted Mosby's sensory deprivation goggles from the Super Bowl episode.
Yeah, I just saw that one.
Like that, but you couldn't see at all or hear at all.
Yeah.
Then he would he would take LSD and submerge himself in water while wearing this thing.
Okay.
And he fucking had visions of like talking to a like cosmic council, and he was like, I'm their messenger.
Oh no.
He would like, the more he did it, the more like the more he would ramp it up and do it more frequently for longer periods, like taking more LSD and submerging himself longer so he could have conversations with this cosmic council. And he was like, there's intelligent life out there, they're just looking for us, dog. And
nice.
This dude like got so into it, he like let all of his funds run dry. Like the Dolphin House had to get shut down, but he just kept doing it more and more until like LSD started to be more. It was around the time that LSD got invented, and so then like LSD got regulated, and he couldn't have access to it anymore. So he started using ketamine,
Okay.
which he referred to as vitamin K. And he thought that like LSD had started getting regulated because the council was upset with him for not following their orders.
Oh my gosh. What a goof.
It's like the most absurd shit I've ever heard of.
That talking about that sensory deprivation, that there's something similar to that in Stranger Things.
Okay.
Elle like blindfolds herself, and at one point she has like a helmet that to go into a tank, and they have to like make a makeshift version with like a bunch of salt and water and in like a kiddie pool in a high school gym.
Okay. It's probably inspired by that. From what I understand, like they actually discovered that these like submersion tanks or whatever it was called, like are actually like effective therapeutic tools, and like because of him using it so much, like they actually got adopted as a real thing. But like
I knew they were a real thing.
Like I don't know if they should be used in conjunction with LSD or ketamine
or jerking off a dolphin.
Right, like he was doing this in the house while that was going on.
Yeah.
Like that house had some shit going on for a bit.
Yeah.
But needless to say, they did not get dolphins to talk.
Oh.
But like this guy is so goofy to me.
Huh. Yeah, how did you find out about this guy?
It was through a YouTube video. I've talked before, like I listen to a lot of videos at work. Because I get bored of listening to music. So it was just something that popped up because I listened to a lot of like long form documentary style videos, and
right on.
It just kind of popped up, and it was like John C. Lilly and the Dolphin House. I don't know what that is. And I listened to it, and I was just, the whole time I was sitting there like, you can't take LSD visions seriously, dog. Like that's clearly just the LSD fucking with you.
Right? Like we saw what it did to Tim.
Tim did LSD?
No. I mean, he might have, but that was just a joke. Because I mean, he's goofed as fuck. Yeah, his mind is clearly shot. I assume at some point at like Studio 54, he took some drugs back in like the 60s. I was just in awe. I was sitting there like, I can't believe that anybody would take this guy, or this guy would take his own vision seriously. Like what? Yeah.
What are you doing, dude?
Huh.
Why are you allowed to keep dolphins? You're doing LSD on a regular basis.
LSD on the reg.
It was interesting. But yeah, check out if you guys are interested in that kind of thing, check out jerking off dolphins. I mean, if you're interested in those kinds of subjects, check out Atrocity Guy. She makes really good videos. She made another video about a guy named Sir Albert, who like lived inside of an airport for 18 years.
Okay, is that that's like the movie Terminal?
That was based on him.
Okay, perfect.
It's like not a good representation of his life apparently, but it was based on him.
Yeah, it sounds like probably loosely based, just a guy who's stuck in an airport. But.
Yeah. That guy was interesting too. There was like a point in his life where like they were like, "Yeah, we found your documents. You can leave the airport." And he was like, "Nope, those aren't my documents." Like he just gotten used to this life. It was like 16 years in, and he was like, "Nope, not leaving."
Huh.
That ain't me, y'all.
Interesting.
Yeah, really interesting stuff. I don't know. I watch a lot of really interesting videos that just talk about really interesting subjects.
I like it.
All right. Well, you got anything else?
Let me take a look real quick, see if I got anything. I mean, I know I've got other stuff, but I don't know if it's anything.
I think he changed his mind.
So this is something that you and I kind of briefly joked on after we recorded the last podcast.
Yeah.
So with the prevalence of the culture that we live in now, and online dating is more of a thing.
Okay.
And like dating apps, and the dick pic has entered into more of a mainstream sort of culture.
Certainly.
What do you think? Do you think like professional dick pics should be a thing? like instead of getting headshots taken, you get like dick headshots.
Well, okay, so my thinking is like most of the time that you take a picture of a dick, like it looks gross.
Right.
Right.
No, yeah, I'm not disagreeing. Dicks are gross.
So if you're and I want to say too, like straight women agree, like dicks are just gross.
Yeah. Oh, everyone does.
Everyone thinks dicks are gross.
I don't think anyone doesn't disagree.
Right. And so my thinking is like if you have just met someone like a girl or a guy, and you're trying to woo them, so to speak, and like maybe nudes start getting exchanged, then maybe it would be a good idea to have some like professionally done, really high quality dick pics that look like they could have been taken from a phone. Like maybe you like get like makeup on your dick or something,
right?
So you have like these really nice, very professional, very like what's the word I'm looking for? Elegant,
right?
Dick pics. So that the first picture of a dick you send to that person you're interested in is like you're making it look as good as possible.
Right. You want it to be a very flattering angle, just really good picture. The lighting, maybe retouch it.
Yeah, do a little bit of Photoshop work on it.
Right.
And just have a couple of those suckers on retainer. So you can send them out as the time needs.
Maybe change the backgrounds. Go out into the middle of a field, like women do with like pregnancy shoots.
Oh my god, you can do the same thing where like you're like holding
just cradle your balls.
Cradle your balls out in the. Oh, I think that'd be really good. Or you could take a picture of your dick in front of like a green screen or a blue screen.
Yeah.
And then you could like send like a snap style photo where it's like, oh, I'm here on Everest with my dick out.
I was just thinking like pics around the world. Like you've got them next to the Eiffel Tower and the Statue of Liberty.
Maybe you do that like touristy thing where you take like the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
You hold it up,
but it's your dick.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Oh man. I love it. Start a new business. Any professional photographers out there looking for business?
I am a mediocre photographer. Call me. We'll get you up.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it.
God, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
To our female listeners, thank you again for watching.
Well, I mean, we're trying to make the dick pic more flattering for
everybody involved.
Everybody, not just males or not just females, but males as well. Whoever,
for ourselves, for our significant others,
whoever's on the receiving end. We just want to make it look as pleasant as possible.
Yeah, make sure to subscribe to the Breakroom Nachos OnlyFans. We are going to be paying for some professional dick pics soon, and we can't put them out on YouTube. So
no,
you're just gonna have to pay up, bitches.
You got to pay for that good content.
God, I love how we went from like talking about like the existentialism of dementia to professionally done dick pics and like a video game boss that would shit all over you in the same podcast.
Yep. Yeah. No, it's that's what this is all about.
It just keeps getting grosser and grosser
Well, we cover a little bit of everything.
with diarrhea.
Sometimes.
But yeah, just gonna repeat what I said earlier. You know, if you want us to stop talking about such gross stuff, send in some questions that maybe don't involve gross things.
Yep.
We need more questions. Send them to us on Twitter at Breakroom Nachos. Leave a YouTube comment. We'll collect them up. Join my Discord server and leave it in the podcast questions
Instagram
channel.
Instagram at Breakroom Nachos. You can comment on a post. We take a look at all those.
Yeah, and we can't make content by ourselves, so you need to do it for us.
Right? Just give us a little something.
Just give Daddy a little question.
Just a little question.
Yeah. Anyway, that was episode 12. Mike, do you have any like racial slurs you want to end this on since I started with that song?
No, I'm good. I'm good, brah. I got nothing.
Just like start to say the N-word and I'll cut it off with the music.
I can't, bro. I got nothing.
That's because Jesus Christ is mine.